Poached chicken cups with ginger-scallion oil satisfy on every level. You have tender, perfectly cooked chicken, crispy, crunchy lettuce cups, and a fresh ginger-scallion oil you're going to want to use for everything. First, I'm going to start with poaching my chicken, and this is just a great recipe to have in your back pocket for any time you want to make chicken because I think it comes out really, really nicely. I have 2 chicken breasts. Now these are bone in and skin on, and the reason I like to use bone in skin on is that it just gives you a little bit more wiggle room when you're cooking it. To that, add about 4 to 6 cups of water. What we're aiming for here is covering the chicken completely. So depending on the size of your pot, you may need a little bit more, a little bit less, but make sure that the chicken is all the way submerged. So we'll get this up and running. So we've got our water, our chicken, and now we want to make sure that it's flavored throughout. Season with salt. I'm going to go with about 2 tablespoons of kosher salt and this delicious ginger I was working on. Start with about a tablespoon of minced. Don't worry, we're going to use more for the finishing oil. Then we're going to use the greens on the scallions. The whites we're going to use in our delicious oil. So we'll put this off to the side. We'll just give these sort of rough chop, maybe about 1/2 inch pieces. Okay, scallion greens in. Now we're gonna move on to carrot. Just 1 medium size is good, peeled. And sort of coarse chop on this as well. Probably, I don't know, about a 1/2 inch piece. Okay, got our carrot here. Bring this up to a boil. While that is heating up, let's get the ginger-scallion oil together. So delicious. So we're shooting for about 3 tablespoons of minced ginger. I already have about a tablespoon there. And when I'm doing the ginger, I like to first cut into thin slices, crosswise, and then turn it around, slice it into little matchsticks like this, and then flip it around one last time for the mince. The reason I like to thinly slice my ginger and then cut it into matchsticks and then slice it crosswise is that you get the cleanest cut and you don't lose any of those really delicious juices and oils in your cutting board. Instead, you get a nice, even mince. All the flavor ends up in your bowl, which is the goal here. Ooh, looks like chicken is up to a boil. So just reduce this temperature down to low, aiming for a nice gentle simmer, and then partially cover. And this is gonna cook for about 15 minutes or so, depending on the size of your chicken breast. I'd say start checking it after 15 minutes. Okay, so there's our ginger. Scallions, these are the white ends. We already put the greens in our poached chicken, so they're flavoring the chicken nicely. So I'm just thinly slicing, and then give a once-over chop. So add this to the bowl with the minced ginger. Finishing touch, 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. I'm using safflower oil here. So a 1/3 cup usually just covers these aromatics. Let's say it's about like that. All right, smells great. We'll let this just hang out and infuse while we finish up on the carrots. So I have 2 carrots here already peeled. Now if you want, you can grate these against the side of a box grater, the large grates. I'm really keen on just peels like this. I think this is a really nice, easy way to eat carrots. So a Y peeler here is the tool for the task. You just make thin ribbons all the way down the carrot. This is fun if you happen to find multicolored carrots because the color of the carrot changes as you peel, and then you get a really beautiful sort of ombre effect. But regular carrots work nicely too. So transfer this to another small bowl and toss with about a tablespoon of rice wine vinegar. You could also use a champagne vinegar or another sort of neutral vinegar. I think the rice wine really brings out the sweetness in the carrots though. Basically, this is just going to quick pickle on the counter here while the chicken finishes cooking. It's been about 15 minutes. Let's check on the chicken. Ooh, this smells amazing. You can tell it's cooked nicely because it's starting to fall off the bone a little bit. Just get this out so it can cool slightly before I shred it. Now this broth here is super flavorful. Do not discard it. I would just strain out the aromatics and then either freeze it or just use it for a little sipping broth. Super, super flavorful. Let's let these cool for a bit. All right, chicken is nice and cool to the touch. You want to make sure that it has enough time to chill down so that you don't burn your fingers. To shred it, just remove the skin and remove the bones. You can either use a fork, you can just use your fingers. Just shred it into bite-sized pieces. Now for the oil, best part. We'll season this with just a little bit of salt and pepper, chili powder or crushed red chili flakes. You can even throw in some freshly sliced green chilies like serranos. I'm a fan of black pepper myself, so we'll just pepper this up. We're gonna save some of this for serving, but we also wanna really add a nice flavorful component to the shredded chicken. So I'd say just a few dollopfuls here. Wow, this already smells so fresh. Let's build our lettuce cup. So I have a head of Bibb lettuce here. You can also use Boston. Kind of stick towards the tender lettuces. I find that those work the best. And because this lettuce is on the delicate side, I'm gonna go ahead and use 2 leaves. Top it with a little bit of chicken mixture. It's like a lettuce cup / lettuce taco. Very, very delicious. Now, garnishes are so fun here. The toppings are kind of the best part. Start with our quick pickled carrot ribbons. See, they've already really softened and become nice and tender just from, I'd say, about the 5 minutes on the counter here, tossed with the rice wine vinegar. Top with some chopped roasted peanuts. And last but not least, some fresh cilantro. I'm just going to tear off some of these delicate leaves here. But you know, a fun thing to remember with cilantro is that the stems are also really, really flavorful. So if you just kind of mince these up, it adds a nice crunch, also just a nice cilantro-y flavor, and you're not wasting anything, which is what we love here. Sprinkle my little chopped stems here. Last but not least, we do just a final little drizzle of our ginger-scallion oil. All right, looks delicious. Let's roll it up, give it a try. Man, this is so tasty. This would make a dynamite lunch, killer dinner. Lunch, dinner, you're gonna be satisfied any time of day.